So let us look at ticketing. Today we are looking at airfares and ticketing for the foundation level. The topic today is ticketing. So you want to look at ticketing because ticketing is very important when it comes to reservations, that's the issuance of tickets. And around 60% of what you'll be doing in the airline will be more of ticketing. So let us start by defining what a ticketing is. Yeah? So ticketing is an electronic way to record the sale of air transportation and track the usage of passenger transportation. So if I say sale of air transportation, when you issue a ticket, yeah, it is recorded. Yeah? There's a way that is recorded in the data, so that at the end of the day, you know how much you sold. Yeah? And then if I say track the usage of passenger transportation, what do I mean? I mean, for example, like if you have an itinerary from Nairobi, you are going via Cairo, then you go to London, and maybe you have a passenger or a relative who wants to confirm whether the client has already departed from the origin, which is Nairobi. Then through the ticketing or the reservations, you'll be able to look at the what we call the ticket coupons, of which it has a status. So, like if somebody has already left, it will indicate what either departed or flown. So, in such a case, we'll be able to tell whether the client has already left the origin. Yeah. So it tracks where the client is exactly. And then all data relating to their passengers, itinerary, fare, class, payment, TFCs, it is stored in the record in the database of the validating carrier. So if I say validating carrier means the issuing carrier, or which like if you want to get the fare or the itinerary, those are the lines of travel and the class of service, whether it's economy, whether it's first class, then you'll get it from the what? The ticketing, from the data. Then all ticketing transactions are electronically supported and mandating carrier tracks and controls all coupons in real time. So all the information is stored in the what database, contrary to what used to be there before. Because before it used to be manual, of which I could lose the data easily. But because of the digital or electronic ticketing, then all the data is kept electronically. Yeah? Then tickets are impossible to lose because the ticket data resides virtually in the validating carrier's database. Yeah, so you cannot lose the data easily because even if you are in America, you can be able to get the data for any person who did the booking in Kenya because of the digital. Contrary to what used to be there during the paper ticket, it could be lost. So that's one of the advantage. And then the passenger typically print out copies of their ticket in form of passenger itinerary receipt. So e-tickets specifically is paperless, yeah, because all the data resides in the what? In the data, you find it from the computer, of which whatever is given to the client is only known as what passenger itinerary receipt, just to confirm the payment and also to give the what the passenger the let me say the itinerary and all that, yeah. So mostly it resides in the electronic. And then you're told only those with the proper ID or password can actually access the booking PNR. So when you book, you'll be given what you call a PNR, passenger name record, of which like if you want to your data to be changed or you want to, let's say, to update your data, then you simply present the PNR so that the officer who is doing it can be able to work on your file of data. Then when a travel agent requests to issue a ticket, a message is sent to the what validating carrier's computer system to inform it that the ticket is to be issued. So like if a client is going via a travel agency, because a travel agency works on behalf of an airline, it's like an intermediary. So the travel agency will have to do what to make the booking or request, send a message to the concerned airline so that the airline can either accept it or reject it. Yeah. So there is a way they communicate through what we call the GDS. For example, we have like Amadeus, of which that's the platform of our communication. And then we have Apart from that, let us look at the next. So to reissue and refunds, a message is sent to the validating. Like a client can want to maybe to refund, and before you refund, you use the same way. You send a message to the airline. If I say validating carrier, it means the issuing carrier, so that it can accept or deny it. Then you are supposed to purchase airlines and can communicate with the passengers to advise or to have a time adjustment. Sometimes you realize uh, sometimes an airline can decide to cancel a flight because of the foreseen circumstances, like due to bad weather. So the advantage of the ticketing is they can be able to communicate with the connecting what airlines, because we have some airlines do not go to other cities or airports, so we use what you call interline. So if there's any delay or cancellation, then it becomes easier if you are on the e-ticket platform, so that you can be able to communicate with the other airlines, yeah, of delays, etc. Yeah. So let us look at the participating airlines quickly, because they are very important. So if you look at the participating airlines in the ticketing process, there are three roles that airlines play in the ticketing and transportation process. So the first one is known as a validating carrier. So if I say validating carrier, what do I mean? So validating carrier is the airline issuing the ticket whose numeric code appears in the ticket transaction number. It is also known as the issuing what or plating airline. Yeah? Plating it used to be used initially. It was like a stamp. Yeah. So airlines mostly used to give the authorized what travel agencies the plate, so that they can stamp on the manual what ticket. But nowadays, because of the digital, we have what you call the e-ticketing, so we no longer have that. But that name still remains as plating. So whenever you hear of validating, just know that that's an issue in what airline, yeah? Then you have the marketing carrier. Marketing simply means the transporting airline that displays its two character called in the PNR booked flight segment and in the tickets flight coupon, yeah? So if I say flight coupons, I mean the sectors, yeah? Like I will find that I may give you an example, like from Nairobi to Egypt, let's say we use Kenya Airways. Then from Egypt to London, let's say we use British Airways. Yeah. So you find that from Nairobi to Egypt, KQ is the marketing airline because it appears on the coupon of the sector. Then again from Cairo to London, British Airways becomes the marketing carrier. Why? Because it also appears on the what coupon on the two sectors. So any carrier that appears on the sector on the coupon becomes a marketing what carrier. Then you have the operating carrier. Operating carrier, so the airline actually providing the transportation, or in other words, flying the aircraft. So the one that will ferry the passengers is known as what operating carrier. And then an airline can be the validating carrier, marketing and operating carrier for a flight. This would mean that the booked airline issued the ticket, sells the what, the seat, and files the plane. So, like, if you come to that, an airline can be validating, meaning it can issue, and then an airline can also be marketing, meaning is the one that appears on the coupons on the sectors. An airline can see the same operating carrier is the one that will also ferry the what, transport the what, the passengers. So like let's say Kenya Airways from Nairobi, then it goes to where? We can say Dubai. Then from Dubai, it goes to Delhi. If the entire journey is indicated by KQ, it means the KQ is the issuing, KQ is the what? Marketing. At the same time, KQ is the operating airline. So it can be 1 in 3. Then we have although, like when it comes to operating, we have what you call code share airlines. You might find that an airline can issue the ticket, but when it comes to operating, you find that another airline comes to transport. And a good example is like KQ and KLM, where you find that KQ can issue the ticket, but you find KLM does what, transports the passenger. Yeah? So we have such a commercial agreements. So let us go to so like here the key learning point we are told A ticket may be issued by one airline validating carrier, sold by another airline marketing carrier, and flown by a third airline. But more often, we see the same airline validate the ticket, sell flight, and operate the flight with its own aircraft. So let us look at the interline tickets. So what do we mean by interline tickets? So you're told when a travel agency books a ticket through GDS, global distribution system, an exchange of standard message between the GDS and issuing airline helps validate the ticket. So tickets represent the entire itinerary price and paid for, whether travel is online or interline. If I say interline, it means different airlines. Yeah, we might have an itinerary from here up to, let's say, Tokyo, but you find that Kenya does not go to Tokyo. So what we'll do, Kenya will ferry this client to Dubai, and then Emirates will take the client from Dubai to where? To Tokyo. So you find that in this situation, we have used how many airlines? 2 airlines. So that one means interline. 2 different what? Carriers or airlines. But if I say online, it means like you use Kenya Airways from here to where? To Dubai. Then again, Kenya is from Dubai to, let's say, to Delhi, but a different flight numbers, yeah? So that's what you mean by online. And then we go to the next, let us look at, so I told each interline airline has control over its own booked and ticketed flight coupons. So we have what you call bilateral interline agreements, enables multiple airlines to participate in one ticketed itinerary. So these agreements require airline partners to exchange ticket information of which these message requests confirm or deny changes to ticket coupons. So we have different airlines with different rules. So before you change, then according to the bilateral agreement, you should know the rules of the participating airlines before you do any updates or any changes. Yeah, that's why a bilateral interline agreement is very important among the multiple airlines or many airlines. Yeah? So like here we are told. So we have like which one? Let us see. When an interline ticket is issued, the validating carrier receives the full value of the ticket. So like if it's an interline, you find that the first airline at the origin is the one that received the full what? The way you are being told, yeah, is the one that received the money, everything. So that at the end of it, we have what you call the billing and settlement plan. We shall look at it later on, but it's the one that will be responsible to now distribute the amount, yeah, the taxes, the amounts to different what airlines that were involved in the interline agreement. So under the key learning point, we are told a bilateral interline agreement allows one airline to issue a ticket, collect the full value of the money of the ticket, and exchange ticket information with airline partners. So the validating carrier transfers an agreed portion of the ticket price to the interlining what airline together with an electronic settlement authorization code when the ticket coupon is what is used or flown. So let us look at the data. We have what we call passenger data and proof of identity. So on routes between specific destinations, airlines must provide each passenger's personal information to customs and immigration authorities before flight departure. So this is a mandatory government requirement known as Advanced Purchase Information Act. Act refers to specific passports, ID, card details such as. So if you look at, let us look at API, very important, yeah. So API means a full name as it appears on the what? Passport ID, the date of birth, passport number you can see here, card where the passport card was issued, passport ID, card expiry date, nationality, and gender. So those are the most important that should appear in the app. So when traveling from the USA, for example, airlines must transmit a minimum amount of passenger data to the US Transportation Security Administration, because like US, when it comes to security, they are very, very sensitive on security. Yeah? So they will need some requirements. There are some requirements before the passenger can do what? maybe go to that country or even go via that country. So this is known as secure flight passenger data, known as SFPD. So the data request must be included in the passenger booking at the time of ticketing. So when you are making the ticketing is when you do what? You have to adhere to the rules, the RP or the US Transport Security, because that information should go together with the other information that you are entering into the what is the PNR when you are creating it. Yeah. So otherwise the airline refuses to issue the passenger ticket. The minimum amount of data required is, so let us see the minimum. So the minimum requirement is the passenger name. Then the date of birth is a must, and then the gender. Very important, yeah. And this name of the passenger should be the one that appears in the passport, yeah. Then gender, we should know whether it's male or female. Very important. Then we have when a ticketed passenger travels, he or she must carry identification in form of a passport or a national ID card, yeah. Then the key learning point we are told some countries implement an advanced purchase information, the API, a procedure where the departing or arriving airline must collect and transmit to customs and immigration authorities personal identification information for each one ticketed passenger. Then we have so we are told locating and interpreting ticket data. So we want to look at how to read a ticket. And we shall use that sample that have been given by Travelport on the Galileo ticket. Although we shall be looking at different ones because we have different global distribution system. But here specifically want to look at Galileo. So let us have to do. So you will see an example of ETR, electronic ticket record. These are just records, yeah, in this section. So data element in the ticket examples are reference with the number. So we shall be going through the numbers and then see how it is filled. So let us look at this. You can see this number one. Number one we are told is the tickets. That's the ticket what? Number one is the ticket number. We can see here. Let us just move. You can see here it is ticket number. And then let us go back a bit. So this is the ticket number. So if I say the ticket number, the first three numbers presents the airline, yeah? Because each and every airline has got a number to identify itself. Like for example, American Airlines has 001. So this one here will identify the airline number, and then we have these documents, yeah? And then we have the name. Number two is the name of the client. When it comes to the name, you start with the what? The surname, and then slash, then the first name, and then you write the title, yeah? And title, it depends. We have several titles. You can have like honorable, we have reverend, we have doctor, we have professor. So it's very important. It's normal for you to ask the client if he has what? A title, because some clients value much, they value their titles very much. Because if you write without writing the title, sometimes they are not happy. Yeah? So you have to ask the client whether he has a title. And if he doesn't have a title, then we have Mr. or Mrs., which has to be indicated, yeah. And then if let's say the name is long, then you can write the surname, and then here you abbreviate, yeah. If there's no enough space, then number three, we are told the date of issue. The date of issue, like here, we are given 22nd of January, and then January. This is why it presents the year, but we don't always put the year because it is a computer generated, yeah. So it will only pick the date and the month. So the date is 2. It has to have 2 what? Like here 22 January. You don't write in full, but you take the first 3 year letters, and then we have number 4. Form of payment is what? Cash. So and form of payment can either be check, can be cash, can be invoice, depending, but it can be a credit card, because mostly nowadays most of the transactions are done either using what? Credit card, because most governments are discouraging what? Cash money. So you find that they are cashless nowadays. Then we have CIDO. city. Like, Sweden, it's like if an airline has several branches, yeah, then there's a code that will be indicated here to show which one. Yeah? Then you have the plating card, the issue. You remember the issue airline, like this one here is Tango Papa, Portugal. Then you have here. Let us see number 7. You have the country. So let us see number 7. Number 7 is somewhere here. Number 7. That is ISO 2-letter code for the country ticket was issued. So like if you come across Delta Echo, it means what? German. So D is German. Then you have the IATA number of that airline, which is indicated here. Then we have here, use here. Open means it has not been used. If it's written flown, then it means it has already been what? It has already been used. And then is the carrier, the airline. And then we have the flight number, because an airline has to indicate which flight number, whether it's the morning flight, evening flight. The class of service, like here we have Lima. This is the class of service. Then we have the date of departure, 20th of April. We have boarding and of boarding, so it's like is boarding in Lisbon and or boarding at where? Madrid. Then you have the time. This is departure time in a 24 hour. This is the status, okay, meaning it's confirmed, it's not on wait list, it's confirmed. Then you have the fare basis code, yeah? This is the fare basis code, of which I hope we covered in the other lesson. And then this is the coupon. Like it has only 2 coupons because it is going to where? We have Lisbon to Madrid is a coupon, then Madrid to Lisbon. So it has only how many? 2 coupons, yeah? And this is a return journey, meaning we have the outbound and inbound. And then we have what we have not valid before, meaning we have what you call the turnaround point. So the client cannot return to the where he came from before what 30th of April. And not valid after means after 30th of April, this ticket will not be valid. It will have expired. Yeah. Then we have the fare. The fare it is in euro because the journey starts from German, and German usually is what they use euro. So this is the fare. And then we have taxes. You can see this one here present the tax. This is the tax code. And then we have another tax here, and then another tax here. So if you come here, you get the total of the base fare plus taxes comes to this zero. So the client has to pay this inclusive of taxes, yeah. And then number 23, I thought changing not permitted. These are rules. So in other words, you cannot change, and it's not refundable. So you cannot refund it, yeah. Then we have to for Lisbon. This is the linear arrangement. So the client is from Lisbon on Portugal, Madrid. This is the applicable fare for the outbound, and then this is applicable fare for the inbound is here. You can see this. So if you add, you get this total. You have this total. Then you have end, and then add a rate of exchange. Like if you want to convert to local currency, then you use this because you multiply this and this to get the euro. Because this one is from Lisbon. Then we have 25. So this one here, let us see number 25. That's what it says. 25, you can see a tax codes and amounts including some taxes with code X. So like if they add both the taxes, then we start with the X-ray Tango to mean that all the taxes have been added together. But here we have none. And then we have Romeo, Lima, Oscar, Charlie, the GDS PNR record locator. Note that 2 record locators are displayed for Galileo and for Galileo locator from the travel agent system, and then Amadeus. So like if we go back, let us see. If we go back, you can see here, this is the record locator. We have for the GDS, and then we also have for the airline, which we shall also cover and see how we get that here. So let us proceed. And so that's how we are able to read the ticket entries. So in case you come across any of that, you should be able to explain. Yeah, and then the others we have like Saba ticket, we have Amadeus, all that here. So I believe at least you've gotten something, so we can stop there, so that in our next topic we shall also cover, we shall have to cover more than that.